This is a Sports Catastrophe production.
Hey there, Heather. Ho there, it's Jeff Cutter Diamond. Welcome you to another Sports Catastrophe Birthday Boy. And the birthday boy for today, October the 23rd, is a former kart champion who was a pretty good in the kart series. Well, that's what they call the IndyCar series now, and did quite well, and even raced in Formula One for a couple of years. He went from F1 back to IndyCar in 2001, but unfortunately suffered a massive crash that resulted into the amputation of his leg. But somehow, 2 years after the accident, he competed in the European Touring Car Championship and the World Touring Car Championship, despite the fact that he had to practically have fiberglass legs. In addition to continuing to race cars, Zanardi would do hand cycling, a form of Paralympic cycling, trying to represent Italy at the 2012 Summer Paralympics and all that. He actually won a few races at the London Paralympics. So anyway, he actually was in an accident and had to have surgery in 2020. Well, being in a hand cycling race, so he's just been blessed with bad luck. But his name is Alex Zanardi, who's now 58 years old. Zanardi was born in Bologna, Italia, October 23, 1966. His sister Christina was a promising swimmer, but died in an automobile accident in 1979. Zanardi would take up kart racing by the age of 13 in 1979, the same year as Christina died. He built his kart from the wheels of a dustpan and pipes from his father's work. He would jump up to Formula 3 during the Italian version of Formula 3. Okay. He went to the Formula 3000 series and then actually did well. So the Jordan team in 1991 for F1 decided to replace Roberto Moreno, who would later go on to be part of IndyCar and part of the 92 500, Indy 500, in which he was the pole setter, but then he crashed before the race even started. So anyway, Zanardi replaced Moreno to race. He finished 2 of the 3 races, taking 9th place in each one, which wasn't that bad. And Zanardi would have to have guest drives for Minardi, replacing the injured Christian Fittipaldi. He actually signed a contract with Lotus, even though that he said he should have stayed at Benetton because Riccardo Patrese was going to retire, and that he would have been on Benetton alongside Michael Schumacher. Regardless of that, Zanardi scored his only F1 point at the Brazilian Grand Prix. He actually was injured when an elderly motorist collided with his bike, knocking him down and running over Zanardi's left foot. Besides several broken bones, Zanardi raced in Germany, but didn't finish. He actually missed the beginning of the 94 season, recovering from his concussion at a crash in the previous year's Belgian Grand Prix, but he returned at the Spanish Grand Prix, replacing Pedro Lamy. Zanardi could not do anything. And then for the last 2 races, he was replaced by Philippe Adams. Zanardi decided to go back to sports car racing. And then he secured a drive in IndyCar for 1996 with Chip Ganassi Racing. But he became one of the series' most popular drivers. In his second race ever, he took the pole. He would win 3 races in his rookie season. And 6 pole positions, finishing 3rd behind Jimmy Faster and Michael Andretti for the points. Zanardi was named Rookie of the Year, obviously. Anyway, he improved his form in kart in 97, winning 5 races, including 3 in a row, winning the Drivers' Championship. In 1998, he won 7 races and won again the kart title. So anyway, it was amazing. Zanardi in IndyCar would actually catch the attention of Frank Williams, the man behind Williams Racing. And anyway, Zanardi would sign a 3-year deal in 1998 for Williams. He began testing alongside Juan Pablo Montoya BAR and Honda gave him offers too, but he went with Williams. He had engine problems through a lot of his races and all that. So Zanardi tried as he might, just had some problems and all that. Zanardi tried, but anyway, it cost him $4 million to get rid of Zanardi from the Williams team. Anyway, Zanardi was not signed for a team in the 2000 season and went back to Kurt and decided to sign for the Mo Nunn team for 2001. Zanardi had little success for most of the season, even though that he was pretty dominant and made me angry that he was in kart series. He took fourth at the Molson Toronto and all that. And all that. So anyway, this was a weird moment. So during the 2001 American Memorial, which was kart's foray into European racing, which they would race in Germany, which was shocking enough. I mean, you put IndyCar out of the United States and Canada? Really? But here's the thing. The American Memorial happened on September 15th, 2001. And everyone knows 4 days before was when you know what happened. So anyway, kart said we need to move on and all that. Formula One decided to put up their race too. So it seemed like all that. Zanardi started from the back of the grid in that race. After a late pit stop, he decided to merge back onto the track where he accelerated abruptly, lost control of his car, and spun onto the race car or track in front of Canadian Patrick Carpentier. Carpentier avoided him. Unfortunately, his Canadian counterpart Alex Tagliani could not, and Zanardi's car was blindsided from behind the front wheel, severing the nose of the car. Zanardi would lose both legs as a result, and nearly 3/4 of his blood volume. Thankfully, rapid medical intervention saved his life. He would have to have portions of his leg amputated as well. Zanardi said, "When I woke up without legs, I looked at half that was left and not half that was lost." So he was fitted with 2 prosthetic limbs and began rehab. To satisfy some of the limitations of legs available commercially, he decided to build his own custom legs to allow him to compare the weight and stiffness of several feet. My ones was suitable for racing. So he was not giving up on his racing career, even though that he had his legs problem. Zanardi would wave the checker flag at the Toronto race. I was ready to take the track again in 2003 with the aid of hand-operated brake and accelerator controls. Before the 2003 German 500, Zanardi actually ceremonially drove the 13 laps. He never finished in Germany at that time. He would have actually finished 5th in the actual race if he raced. But anyway, he would do it for Touring Car Championship. And a touring car modified to allow the use of his prosthetic feet. So yeah, he would be back to racing sports cars and all that. So anyway, Zanardi did a lot of things and all that. So yeah, he kept racing even though that he lost his legs. And that's pretty impressive. Zanardi decided to take up hand cycling. You know, the ones you're on a bike but you pedal with your hands instead of your feet. He actually took 4th place in the hand cycle division at the New York City Marathon after only 4 weeks of training and took up hand cycling in earnest. He said he wanted to compete in the 2012 Summer Paralympics, and he did so, winning the time trial event. So it was amazing. Zanardi won an Olympic gold medal. You don't do that in IndyCar racing. Get a gold medal. He was actually voted the best male athlete of the 2012 Paralympics. Okay. Anyway, he took part in the 2016 Summer Paralympics, winning the gold medal in road cycling, men's time trial, and mixed team relay, and silver in the road race. So he won 3 medals. Unfortunately, though, he was involved in a massive accident while being in a race, a hand cycle race. So now he was descending down a hill when he lost control of his hand bike and veered into an oncoming truck. Unfortunately, though, he had severe facial and cranial trauma. He was airlifted to Siena Hospital. And anyway, they said Zanardi showed signs of interaction, but his condition remained serious. He had to have surgeries to reconstruct his face. And by December 2020, he regained his sight and hearing, and could also respond non-verbally to questions. Fortunately, though, he had surgery and could speak again. And in December 2021, he was able to return home for his rehab. So anyway, he's been married to his wife since 1996, and they have a son, Nicolo, who is, 16 now? Yeah. So anyway, Zanardi's story was featured on the HBO sports series Real Sports with Brian Gumbel. Zanardi received multiple awards for his comeback after the amputation of his legs due to that accident in court and somehow pulling out of everything. So anyway, Zanardi was a decent person in kart, winning 2 IndyCar seasonal championships. I just wish Formula One he could do good, but he only had 1 point in 5 seasons in F1. That's kind of disheartening, don't you think? But yeah, that's the way it goes. And that is how things go in the long run. Anyway, I'm Jeff Diamond.